She slammed my cabin door open so hard the frame rattled, waving a crumpled paper in her fist like it was a royal decree, shouting that my land, my family's cabin by the lake, belonged to the HOA now. She had no idea who was sitting across the table from me. And in the next few minutes, her entire world and the empire she thought she controlled was about to collapse in front of her own eyes. That cabin has been in my family for 3 generations. It's not some fancy mansion, just rough cedar walls, old rocking chairs on the porch, and the kind of quiet you can only hear when you're far away from the noise of the city. I come out here to breathe, to clear my head, to remember that life is bigger than HOA letters and lawn citations. But that morning, peace was the last thing on the agenda. Karen Miller, 40s, blonde hair tied back too tight, always red-faced, like she's been boiling in her own anger, stormed in like she owned the place. "Pack your things," she hissed, slapping down that so-called notice. "Your little vacation is over. HOA board says this cabin is for community use now." I didn't even flinch. I kept my hands around the warm coffee mug, staring at the steam curling in the air. She didn't know yet. She didn't notice the man across from me, calm, older glasses perched low on his nose, adjusting them with the kind of authority that doesn't come from paper, but from real power. He didn't say a word yet, and I wasn't about to ruin the surprise. Karen was so full of herself, barking like a drill sergeant on a power trip. "You think you can just sit here? The HOA says you can't stay overnight without approval. And don't bother calling anyone, the law's on my side." That's when the man across from me finally spoke. Voice low, heavy, the kind of tone that makes everyone else shut up. "On your side." Karen spun, eyes narrowing. "And who the hell are you supposed to be?" "Another trespasser." I leaned back, a smirk tugging at my lips. "You might want to be careful with your words. You just tried to evict me in front of the state attorney general." Her mouth dropped open, her confidence cracking like cheap glass. For the first time since she barged in, she didn't have a comeback. Of course, silence doesn't last long with people like her. She plastered on that fake smile voice, dripping with false charm. "Oh, Attorney General, is it? Well, I was only here to check on the safety of the property. HOA rules, you know we care about the community." Her nervous laugh bounced around the cabin like broken glass. The Attorney General leaned forward, fingers tapping the table once, twice, 3 times. "So you entered private property," he said slowly, without permission, waving a falsified document. Her fake grin froze. "Falsified. Excuse me, this is official." She shoved the paper toward him, but even from across the room I could see it was a mess, unevenly cut, printed on some cheap home printer. Embarrassing. I stood crossing my arms. "You taped one of those to my door last week, too. Remember? The one claiming I owed a fine for having a non-approved mailbox." The Attorney General scanned the page, chuckled dryly. "This seal was discontinued in 2008. That means this isn't just fake, it's criminal." Karen's face lost color, her voice shook. "You don't understand. I was told to do this. I was just following orders from the HOA board. They told me to push him out no matter what." She jabbed a finger at me like I was the criminal. I caught the shift in her tone. Orders. Someone bigger was pulling the strings. This wasn't just about Karen being power-hungry. This was wrought deeper and nastier. The cabin door creaked again. Heavy footsteps on the porch. "Karen, what's taking so long?" She flinched like a kid caught stealing. Into the cabin stepped a tall man, polished shoes, expensive suit dusted from the trail, eyes full of arrogance. Richard Lawson, the HOA president himself. The room changed the moment he walked in. His presence was thick, suffocating, like he already believed he owned the place. "Mr. Lawson," the Attorney General said evenly. Lawson smirked. "Titles don't matter here. What matters is this cabin sits on land the board intends to regulate. And you," he pointed at me without even looking, "are in the way." I kept my voice calm, though my chest burned. Funny, because last I checked, this land's been in my family for 3 generations. You don't regulate family history. His jaw twitched. History doesn't matter. Power does. Then, like a director calling actors onto stage, he snapped his fingers. 2 huge men stepped onto the porch arms, crossed eyes cold. Silent threats. Karen gasped. "You brought them here." Lawson didn't even glance at her. "This is how things get handled." He leaned close, smile razor sharp. "Here's what's going to happen. You both walk away tonight, forget you saw anything. If not, accidents happen in places like this. Remote, quiet, forgotten." I felt my stomach drop. My palms sweated. For one terrifying second I thought about giving in, packing up, leaving, pretending it wasn't worth it. I even asked myself if maybe I was the one stirring trouble. Maybe keeping the cabin was selfish. Was I wrong? Was I just another stubborn fool fighting a battle I couldn't win? I almost gave up right there, but then a tiny red light blinked in the corner of the cabin. The Attorney General's voice sliced the silence. Funny thing about accidents, they don't usually get caught on live surveillance feeds. Lawson's smirk faltered. His eyes darted to the blinking camera, realization spreading like wildfire. Karen gasped, hand flying to her mouth. I straightened, voice steady now. Not just recording, streaming straight to the county server. The muscle men shifted uneasily, cracking knuckles less confidently now. They hadn't signed up to threaten a state official on camera. The Attorney General tapped his phone. Every word, every threat already saved, already backed up. Panic flickered in Lawson's eyes. "You think that matters? You think anyone's going to touch me? I've bought half this county." The Attorney General's smile was thin, deadly. "Then I guess you forgot about the other half." Even Lawson's men looked shaken. One muttered, "Boss, maybe we should—" "Shut up," Lawson snapped, but his voice cracked. He was losing ground. I stepped forward. "That's your mistake. You thought this was about me, but you walked in here threatening the Attorney General on camera. That's not HOA business anymore. That's federal." Karen's knees buckled. She slid down the wall, whispering, No, I didn't sign up for this. I just wanted to keep my spot on the board." Lawson turned on her, eyes blazing. "Shut up, Karen." But the Attorney General rose to his feet, voice carrying judgment like a hammer. "No, Lawson, you shut up. The moment you walked through that door, this became a crime scene." The silence was crushing. Even the fire seemed to burn quieter. Outside, faint sirens wailed across the lake, growing louder, flashing red and blue against the cabin windows. Lawson's mask shattered. Sweat rolled down his temples. You don't scare me. I'll bury this in court. Judges owe me favors. Money talks." The Attorney General lifted his badge, gold catching the firelight. "This isn't county. This is state, which means federal agencies are one phone call away. Your money doesn't buy that." His men shifted, glancing at each other nervously. One finally muttered, "Boss, he's not bluffing." Lawson's face twisted, desperate. "Nobody's leaving. He doesn't have proof." I raised my phone, live stream still rolling. "Funny you should say that. Over 1,000 people are already watching." Karen's whisper was frantic, almost prayer-like. No, this can't be happening." The Attorney General's tone went glacial. "Lawson, here's what's going to happen. You're going to walk outside calmly with me. Your men are going to stay put. If you resist, the deputies already watching this feed will handle the rest." Within seconds, deputies stormed the porch, weapons steady, sirens echoing. "He's inside," the Attorney General said firmly. "Fraud, extortion, criminal conspiracy. Take him." Lawson exploded, pointing at me. "This is his fault. Arrest him." A deputy's voice was calm but sharp. "Sir, this man is on his own, registered property ownership records on file. You, on the other hand, are done." The cuffs snapped tight on Lawson's wrists. He fought, shouting, "I own this county. I own everyone." But his words drowned beneath the sound of boots and the scrape of polished shoes dragged across my porch. His men backed off immediately, hands raised, muttering they wanted no part of it. Karen sobbed against the wall, streaks of tears running down her face. "They'll come after me too, won't they?" I met her eyes, voice flat. "You made your choice when you walked through that door with a fake notice. Maybe now you'll understand this was never yours to control." The Attorney General placed a firm hand on my shoulder. "Justice can be slow," he said, "but when it arrives, it doesn't miss." I stepped outside, the cool lake air rushing over me, carrying away weeks of dread. Sirens faded into the distance, but the message lingered. Freedom, family, justice, they always outlast corruption. And that's the lesson. No matter how loud or powerful they seem, no one, not even an HOA president, stands above the law.